Rich Gaspari here, another episode of Beyond the Muscle. And I'm proud to have my co-host, Tom Fisher. And we're going to talk about something interesting. We're going to talk about the crucial role of recovery in athletic training cycles. You want to build muscle and everybody's going to sit there training in the gym, but what's really important is also the recovery part. Because I always tell people, you don't grow when you train. You break down muscle, you grow when you recover.
That's correct.
So talk to me a little bit about, explain to me the science behind recovery. Why is it so important?
This is a hot topic in research, and really what we've been doing for many years in the labs is trying to find the optimum relationship between training and recovery. And there's a problem with it. Shouldn't come as being unexpected because everybody's different. Different morphologies, different ages, different muscle types. And so trying to find the sweet spot, the very best we can do is kind of get a parenthetical range as to how often to train. But if you do too little, it won't do much good. Even though we can all appreciate a little bit of something beats a whole lot of nothing. But most of the problems occur when you go overboard and you go through a cascade. And here I'm having to put on my psychologist hat because I see this in my practice and I see it at the university. It's a well-known thing, but it is a progressive syndrome. You get overtraining.
And what does that mean? Let's see, this is what the viewers have to know. What is overtraining? What are the symptoms of overtraining?
Well, generally appetite disruption, sleep disruption. Those are the first two. Those
so you can't sleep and you lose your appetite.
And you lose your
appetite.
What
else?
Yeah.
Achy joints?
Mood disorder. But that comes a little later.
Yeah.
But you're training to the point where your body is not adequately recovered. And this overtraining, it's kind of an umbrella term. It's the first of the dominoes to start. Because if you keep on, and most athletes write a check with their egos. So rather than...
I'm that person. I can keep training no matter how tired. I said, I'm just going to get to the gym and I'm going to train. And you have to listen to your body.
Well, you have to, but you're going to, more often than not, I'm guilty of this, you double down. And if you double down, you're just throwing gasoline on the fire because you're not allowing your body to properly recover, and you get into this area called staleness. And you're putting in the work, but you're not getting anywhere.
Exactly.
And your natural inclination is that you're not working hard enough, or you're not working often enough, or not working long enough, duration, intensity, and frequency. So then, if you continue on, now I'm really putting on my shrink hat, because then you get into something called burnout. And this is serious, it really is. This is life-altering. People around you will see this in very, very short order. They'll see your mood completely disrupted, you're not yourself. Mood is disordered, your sleep is disordered, your diet has gone out the window, and really, you don't have much choice because people who really burn out, they crash and burn.
They crash and burn. And it's not only physical, it's also the mental recovery. If you're sitting there training day after day after day without taking a break, you mentally burn out. You just don't feel like training anymore. You're like, for me, when I go to the gym, I love going to the gym. I wake up in the morning. Listen, I'm an early morning riser. I get up at 5:15. I'm at the gym by 6 o'clock, and I feel great getting to the gym. But there's times, like, if I'm really training hard, and now that I'm older, I was pushing myself to try to still do the kind of weights when I was younger. And I noticed I started feeling like achy joints, soreness in the muscle. And that was happening where I was getting up in the morning and like, feel like going to the gym today. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? I just don't feel like going. And that was a sign that was overtraining. Overtraining. I had to lessen the training, trying to do too heavy, forced reps. I did less sets. I did less of the supersets and less of this like training to failure. And I actually started feeling better going to the gym and started seeing gains in the gym. And that's what people have to realize. You can't just keep pushing yourself and calling yourself a wimp. If you don't feel good, you got to listen to your body. And that's the part that people don't do it. They don't listen to their body.
Well, this desire to double down, it's all too common in males.
A personality.
Exactly. Yeah. Overachievers, etc. If one is good, 5 must be better. So this whole process of rest and recovery, again, I mentioned that a lot of the research is oriented towards trying to find the optimum, not the maximum, because maximum, we're taught, that's another standard, and that usually includes wasted time.
Yeah.
But you see, that also plays into it psychologically. I know that a lot of coaches are guilty of this. A lot of the old school coaches who think that rest and recovery is just wasting time. You should be doing something. You should be. And so a happy compromise here to address that is something called active recovery.
So what's active recovery?
It can be anything. And generally it's something that doesn't involve your sport of choice, i.e. bodybuilding.
Yeah.
It involves bike ride, something maybe paddling a kayak.
Walking on the beach.
Walking on the beach.
I live on the water, and what I do for active recovery, I have a kayak, and I love kayaking, on the water. And to me, it's like another form of exercise, but it's not weight training. And I go miles
and
doing
it's a total vacation.
You look at, the scenery. I'm in this big open bay. I live on the Barnegat Bay, so it's a big, you live in Jersey, it's a big bay. So I love just going on that in the summertime. Now it's getting too cold, and that's just a great active recovery. I love doing it. Doing a little bit of fast walking or a little bit of jogging on the beach, on the sand.
Could easily do that.
It's a nice thing to do. And it's like you're seeing different visual experience, hiking. A lot of ways to do active recovery. A lot of times, like with weight training, I take a whole week off. If you really feel burnt out, you take a week off, I come back even stronger.
Yes, of course you do.
And I travel a lot, and because I travel a lot, I'm in different time zones. I go to Japan, I go to Korea, I go all these different places, and I try to weight train, and then I get back and I'm like, I'm just burnt out. I take a whole week off from just weight training and then get back to it, and my strength goes up.
Well, you see, that's a perfect example and a vivid illustration of you having the proper recovery. And remember, I use the word optimum because there's got to be a parenthetical range, is kind of the way that we describe it at the university. It's not a point on a line. Here, it's 2.5 days. No,
it's your body. It's your body.
That's right. And given all of this, your morphology, your type of exercise, the mode, if you will, and your age, because it's going to take more. Research is continually suggesting that if you're over a certain age, i.e. 40, 50, forgive me, I'm 70, but anyway, you should work out fewer and much lesser. You can work out as intensely, but then you have to adjust the frequency and the duration.
Duration. So less time in the gym.
Yes. More time recovering.
Even intensity, you can lighten it up a little bit. Like I was telling you, I was trying to use heavier and heavier weights, and I was like, I had a persistent knee problem. My left knee was just bothering me, and I started cutting back in the weight. I was doing time over tension lifting. It was really slow, lifting lighter weights.
That was very, very big a couple of years ago, the SS movement, the super slow. They do a quick concentric, and then they take a full minute to go ahead and go down.
I don't know about a minute, but
then again, it's time under tension, and TUT, we call it, nicknamed King Time, Diamond Time Under Tension, because research showed that really it had a great effect on hypertrophy.
Oh wow! So like I said, you guys out there, recovery is key to muscle growth. You have to recover. You have to kind of feel your body, when to recover. What are the signs of overtraining? You can't sleep right, can't eat right.
Relationship difficulties. That's
you're going to be moody.
You're moody.
You're going to have
you're not
going to
be a happy guy.
No, and that's when you know, what? Maybe I need to take a break.
Let me address something else too, because this carries on to the rest and recovery, and that's sleep pattern. Anymore, they've all kinds of Fitbits and wearables and things like this, little rings and such, which are terrific, and you really want to track things. And frankly, I highly recommend this, not because I'm a scientist necessarily, but because I think if you measure things, you tend to be more aware, you tend to them more. But the sleep itself, we're all trying to get REM sleep, and really when you start talking about quality of sleep, right now you and I are in alpha and beta, mostly in beta, EG waves. We're on task and we're paying attention and we're listening and we're computing, etc. Then there's alpha, but the one that we really want to get down into is theta and delta, and this is where you get rapid eye movement sleep, and this is the really restful, regenerative sleep.
So you don't get really restful sleep until you go to REM sleep.
Correct.
And then you're in REM sleep. How long does it take to get into REM sleep?
REM sleep is where we dream.
When you dream. And then REM sleep is people see their eyes flutter.
REM, rapid eye movement.
Yeah, rapid eye movement.
And it's been shown that most of the real substantive work has been done in the military for sleep deprivation. You see, because you're trying to study the effects of rest and recovery by studying deprivation. No rest and no recovery. And it's really illuminating too, because after a while, after several successive 12-hour periods where you're awake and you're not sleeping, you can begin to become hallucinatory.
Really?
Yeah.
To the point of hallucination. But it's so important to get good sleep. And another thing is making sure, the big thing that people do, they tend to sit there on their phone right to the end of the night.
Worst thing.
Texting or reading or
watching television.
Or watching. The thing I've learned to do is when I go to bed, an hour before I go to sleep, I turn my TV off.
The blue light.
No blue light. Just get rid of it. You will get a better sleep. Don't eat. Another thing is the last meal should be an hour and a half before you go to sleep. I always tell people that.
Cool room.
Nice cool room.
At around 70 degrees, something like that.
Yeah, it could be 68 to 70. Even a little colder. You can use blankets.
Put another blanket on.
Yeah, but it actually helps your sleep better. People that leave, this is what I hate. I have a brother who does. He leaves the TV on all through the night, with the noise. It helps me sleep. No, it doesn't help you sleep. It's making noise. You want to get good, proper sleep. Yeah. You want to have silence. You may want to have these noise, these these noise machines that make
Sure,
the
white
oceans,
noise.
white noise that makes the ocean sound. That will help you sleep
Yeah.
better and more restful. And we're talking about recovery, and sleep is a big part of recovery. Hydration. Make sure you're drinking enough water. Make sure that you keep your body hydrated.
That is one of the most often cited and overlooked part of nutrition. People think that they're getting enough when in fact they are not.
You want to drink, you want to carry a gallon of water with you. Most people don't do that.
My students says, I see them all. I know the bodybuilders out among my students.
Doing it right now, drinking water.
There we are. There we are.
But that is part of recovery too, is drinking enough water to keep your body hydrated. That's important as well. Make sure you do that, which is going to help you a lot.
And then there's something else too, and this is a little bit more personal. It's deep breathing, meditation.
Meditation.
All these. I'm a martial artist, so this is what I do. I sit quietly, and I call it the still point. And close my eyes and concentrate on breathing for just a couple of minutes.
And this is the thing, what is meditation? Like, it's funny, and I started meditating myself, and it's just following your breathing. It's like sitting there and taking deep breath, breathing out, correct? And that's meditation.
Typically, we use the top 1/3 of our lungs.
Yeah.
And that's interesting too. If you understand that where lung cancers where they generally occur, they start in the lower lobes where it's stagnant air, down
so
there.
you're
Nothing
getting
gets
enough air.
in, nothing gets out.
Yeah.
It just sits there and festers. Whereas deep breathing, you don't breathe in and out. You breathe down and up.
So you try to
Diaphragmatic breathing, all sorts of other, and yoga and Pilates and all the rest of those that are.
But I definitely feel a big difference with, feeling, doing the breathing and meditation. Another thing is like just taking everything out of your mind, all the clutter. When you just focus on breathing, it really does take out all the clutter out of your head. And if you can do that, most people can't do it more than. Meditation is like weight training. You can't just sit, go in the gym and lift a 500-pound bench. You start with like a minute or 2 minutes of meditation, then go to 3 minutes and 4 minutes and 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Guys that meditate for like 10 minutes. It's something really healthy that a lot of people just can't get the head of.
There was one other thing too, and I was reading some interesting articles on this a couple of months ago, and it's about being around a pet.
Dogs, yeah.
Dogs.
Yeah.
I know my dogs, big dogs, 75 pounds each. They are a constant source of joy, and regardless of how PO'd I am or what kind of bad mood I'm in, if I am there with them, seeing Daddy, it's very, very calming, and I can feel that chi settling down.
Yeah, so get a pet. You want to recover better.
Get a pet. Yeah.
Get a dog.
That's right.
Not a snake, but a dog.
Okay, by any other name, yeah.
This is great. I mean, it's like I said, people want to just figure out how to get big, but recovery is essential.
It's huge.
And again, you want to sleep right, hydrate your body, get active rest, whether it's yoga, meditation, riding a bike, running on the beach, kayaking. There's another way of active rest to keep the mind. Once in a while, take a week off. Signs of overtraining: muscle soreness that don't go away, joint pain, unable to sleep properly, unable to eat, and moodiness. These are all signs of overtraining. So
on your way.
That wraps up this episode.
Once again, brother.
Beyond the Muscle. Again, guys, if you like the episode, make sure you like it and subscribe. Subscribe. Thanks, guys.